Hi, I'm Patricia Marshall Harris, and welcome to Dishing with Patricia. As a food, nutrition, and healthy lifestyle consultant, I believe food is our medicine. As the host of Dishing with Patricia, I also believe in connecting with notable guests who would dish about themselves, local events, community topics, and of course, food. Welcome back to Dishing with Patricia. Today's guest is Dr. Joe DiAngelo. Dr. DiAngelo is the Dean of Haub Business School at St. Joe's University in Philadelphia. Dr. DiAngelo, welcome. I'm happy to have you.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you too. But let me say, I call him Joe because I know him, and I'm not being disrespectful. Dr. DiAngelo is on the board of the foundation that my husband and I have. So just to let you guys know, I am aware of who he is. So thank you so much for agreeing to come today.
This will be fun.
I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Tell me, what role do you play as the dean of a business school?
As I explain this to my grandchildren when they ask me, Pop, what do you do? I say I'm the principal of the business school. So, so that's all of the undergraduate programs and all the graduate programs. So it's about 4,000 students.
Wow.
In the undergraduate and graduate programs. Yeah.
Do you oversee the professors that come within your department?
80 faculty members and 20 staff. We also do, we have a couple of centers and institutes where we do some research, and we have a nationally recognized veterans program where we help disabled vets start businesses.
St. Joe's just recently merged or became partners, or explain to me what that actually is.
The University of Sciences was looking for another university that they can merge into.
Yes.
They merged with us. So we now have a pharmacy school, programs in occupational therapy, physical therapy, physician assistant, and several other doctoral programs.
So when you apply for school for St. Joe's, you actually now can apply with that. You don't have to apply to this other university.
Nope.
It's now
that university doesn't exist anymore. It's now St. Joseph's University, and we have a city campus, and then the Hawk Hill campus, we call it.
Great. So I know that COVID has changed the climate of higher education.
Oh, yes.
Students are now back into school.
Yes.
How did you guys weather that transition from pre-COVID, post-COVID to where you are now with them back on campus?
It's interesting because we actually always had the students on campus. We never went to fully remote. Now, when COVID started, the students were not every class was full because we had to do 6 feet separation.
Of course.
So half the class would be there physically, and the other class would Zoom in, the other half of the class, and then we would reverse it every other class. But we always had the students on campus. They still lived in the dorms because we still wanted to maintain the student-faculty relationship. It's a little bit of a challenge.
Correct.
But we never went to fully online. And that's a bad term, online, because online learning does not mean you're just sitting in front of a Zoom all day long. So it's different.
Globally, as a business school, I understand that you assist in accreditation for other business schools.
Yes.
Tell me, how does St. Joe's rank, not necessarily rank, but there has to be a difference that you see from schools that are international versus St. Joe's. So tell me, what is the makeup of that? How does it differ?
It's fascinating. I mean, I've visited over 90 schools to accredit them. I've done more than any other business dean in the country. I'm the longest serving business school dean in the country, which just means I'm old. But yes, I've visited schools, accredited schools in China, Australia, Egypt, Spain, Germany, Japan. There are some differences. There are some nuances. Interestingly enough, many of them try and copy the American. The faculty process is a little bit different, but when push comes to shove, education is still education, and they're still trying to present the most cutting-edge programs to their students. So surprisingly, it's not all that much different once you're in the classroom.
So if you graduated from, let's say, the University of Hong Kong in a business degree, is that equivalent to a business degree here in the United States?
Well, that's why we're doing the accreditation process for those schools out there, because then we can make judgments as to the equivalency of the programs. And so, yes, many of the larger programs in China are now very much similar. As a matter of fact, I was the head of the accrediting agency back in 2013. And one of the things that I asked that we do is that, for example, in China, they didn't take the liberal arts courses. They took mostly business or science, whatever major they were in.
Correct.
And then they took some courses in Chinese history. Well, we've changed the standards so that it required you to have so many courses in the liberal arts. And so now the programs in China and in other parts of the world, their models look very similar to ours.
Can you
maybe not like St. Joe's.
those credits? I'm sorry, I
We do.
cut you off. I apologize.
No, we do transfer them. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
If there's a school in China that's accredited by ACSB, that's the accrediting agency. Yes, then we take those credits because they've been evaluated by a team of people, and they're evaluated every 5 years.
Great.
So
You wrote an article in 2020 in the Philadelphia Business Journal about leadership.
yes.
What has changed? That was 2020.
Well,
this is 2023.
Yeah.
What has changed?
Well, that was middle of the pandemic, and the process is a little bit different because people are looking for different things out of work. They've gotten used to the quality of work life and the quality of family.
Yes.
So I think the days of having everyone on campus or in the office, I think are over, but I don't think they're all going to be work from home. There's going to be some balance. What that turns out to be is still, not decided yet, and I think it's going to vary by the kind of company that you are.
And how is that coming along with you in your department?
Well, we're educating students, so the faculty have to be there
Yes.
to be in the classes. Anybody who's student facing, yes, they have to be there, but not every staff person is student facing. Some of our IT people can work from home. Some of our people who are working with our adult students who never really come to campus because most of the classes they take are online.
Correct.
So they can do it by Zoom, they can do it by phone. The problem you have, and this is where the leadership comes in, is how do you deal with the equity issues? How do you say, okay, this office, these people don't have to come in, and this office, these people do have to come in, because people think they're being treated differently.
So how have you adjusted to that?
Oh God, you're asking hard questions. It's a process. I've been doing this so long, I'm still used to everybody being in the office. But you have to work with the people from where they are.
And weigh that decision. 'Cause
Yes,
you don't want to
yes.
miss out on a good professor
No.
based on those being very rigid.
Yeah, and it's not the professors so much, it's the staff people. Because the
Okay.
faculty still, at least for the traditional 18 to 22-year-old students who are coming to class every day,
Yes.
yeah, the faculty need to be there. Graduate, it's different. Graduate is a significant portion of it is now online teaching, which doesn't necessarily mean it's just Zoom. There's projects and things that students do, and then you'll Zoom with the students probably half the number of meeting times during the year.
So we know that the president talked about creating jobs that no longer required a college education, but vocational schools or technical schools. How do you think that's going to affect people going to quote unquote a traditional 4-year college? What do you think about that?
Well, I think some people misinterpreted what was said, in that you don't necessarily need a college degree. I would agree with that.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean you need less education. For
Okay.
example, try and be a mechanic
Yes.
and work on a Tesla. You know, it's no longer changing the oil. You have to be half of an electrical engineer to do that. Try and be a carpenter today with all of the tools, the different tools that they use. It's much more complicated. And so you still need education. You just need a different kind of education. I think some colleges will adjust to that by providing more 2-year applied degrees, and then offering the opportunity for people to go on if they want to get a degree. You know, you don't necessarily just get a degree to go to work. You get a degree because you want to be a well-rounded person and you want to be educated. But colleges are going to have to adjust. And actually, we're doing that now. We're doing another merger. We just merged with a nursing school in Lancaster. So it's 70 miles away. There's 1,800 students. More than half of those students are in 2-year nursing program or 2-year technology program, radiologic technology, mammography, all of. And then about half of those students then go on to get a bachelor's degree, and some go on to get a master's degree after that. So it's changing the types of programs that you would offer.
But what about certifications? I did notice that you guys offer certification.
We do.
Harvard, some of the more Ivy League schools. So what type of certifications, and how do you apply that?
Well, this is interesting. I serve on a committee for ACSB. It's called the Business Practices Committee, and there's 20 people, and there are 10 corporate and 10 business school deans. So this is about 4 years ago. We were in a meeting, and we were working in tables on different ideas. And I was with the senior vice presidents of Google, Microsoft, and General Motors. And I said, okay, why aren't you sending as many people back to get graduate degrees? And the fellow from General Motors said, because you're not teaching what we need people to learn. And I said, thank you. And he said, we need more autonomous engineers. And I said, okay, what's an autonomous engineer? And he said, self-driving cars. And I said, that's interesting. I thought you were going to say electric cars. He says, we already know what we're doing with electric cars. He said, with electric cars, now we're just working on the batteries. He said, but 15 years down the line, it's self-driving cars. And we need people that understand that. I said, so you're talking about engineering schools? He said, see, that's your problem. You work in a silo. He said, you don't think there's any business applications to self-driving cars?
Wow.
So he put me in my place. And then when I asked the Google and Microsoft people, the Google person said, I don't care if they have a degree. He said, I just want to know they have the skill that we need. So if they come and tell me that they have a certification, they've gone through a process where they passed an exam, he said, that's fine with me. And the person from Microsoft said the same thing. Said, takes too long to get a graduate degree. And in many schools, now they were saying, we're not saying you do this, Joe.
Correct.
But you're teaching what your faculty want to teach as opposed to what we need them to learn.
So the certification is geared specifically for a certain career path.
Yes.
So if you, what you said it was called?
Autonomous engineering?
Autonomous engineering. So a certification would strictly be geared towards learning that skill set.
It could be, or even a piece of that, a smaller piece of it. So basically what we did was I came back and I got all the faculty together and I said, we got to take our MBA program and throw it away. We have to redesign it.
And did you?
We did. And we created 3 stackable certificates. So if you want to come and just take a certificate in finance, in Bitcoin, in real estate, in data analytics, you can come and take 4 courses in that area and we'll give you a certificate.
How long does it take to get that certificate?
You go as fast as or short as you want. So you can take 2 courses a semester, you can get a certificate in a year.
So you're able to work,
have a
job, and then the cost, offset of the cost versus a master's degree in your certification. I mean, I would imagine.
But interestingly, what's happening is people are actually staying on to get the degrees. What they're doing is they're doing a certificate in data analytics. They'll do a certificate in marketing.
Wonderful.
And then we tell them, if you want to do the MBA degree, get the MBA degree, there's a couple courses that everyone's going to have to take in economics and strategic planning, and then then we give you the MBA degree. The preliminary courses that everyone would have to take, if you weren't a business school major, you would have to take extra classes. We took all of those classes and put them online, and we don't charge the students for them. They're self-paced, and we put in the classes just what they need to learn. And then you take that class, you finish it in 6 weeks, fine. You take 14 weeks, that's fine. When you're done, it'll show that you've passed the little exams that are in there, and then we put you right into the graduate classes. So we eliminated $18,000 of cost.
I was just going to ask you.
No, we eliminated $18,000 in cost. It's 36 credits. You are getting the education. We just put it online and gave it to the students for free, so that they would come into the certificate programs and into the MBA. And our enrollment's going up 20%.
That's wonderful. College costs so much.
Yes.
Why?
I tell the parents when they come, it's your fault. And they look at me and they say, "What do you mean?" I say,
I'm
because
looking at you like, what are you talking about?
Because the first thing they want to see when they come is they want to see the dorm. And, oh, my child has to use the bathroom at the end of the hall? No, they want an apartment. They want a kitchen in the apartment. Every dorm has a gym in it, okay? Most of them now are 2-bedroom apartments.
Really?
Well, that's what the students want.
So if
they're expensive.
If they elected to stay at home,
yes,
and go to school,
yeah, they don't have to incur the cost of living on campus. But if you're going to go to college, you want to be away from home. You don't want to live with your parents.
Right.
Yeah.
You want that experience.
So for the first 2 years, we do want them there. You don't want to put an 18-year-old out into the world unsupervised. The first 2 years, we do want them on campus. Second 2 years, they can live off campus.
Okay. What about the security? You guys live at St. Joseph's in the city.
Yep.
And we know that there are a lot of issues going on with universities that live within a city square in the city area.
We do a lot of work with that.
But are you also considering your neighbors that are around you? The only reason why I say that is because I do know that Temple University has a lot of issues going on with the neighbors around there, around the school itself. How have you all addressed that problem? And have you addressed the problem?
Well, we're trying, yes. We have a number of associations. As you know, St. Joe's, half of the campus is in the city side.
Yes.
The other half is in Lower Merion.
Correct.
So there's 2 associations, one for the Lower Merion side and one for the city side. And we have staff at the university who are on committees with the neighbors to make sure that, we're working together to solve the issues. And there are politicians who are also involved in that. Curtis Jones is our politician on the city side, and Curtis has been very good to us, working with us to work on safety issues, and we do a lot of work with the students as well. Many of these kids don't come from the city, and so they have no idea. They think you can go out walking at 2:30 in the morning by yourself. That's not smart. So we have to work with the students and teach them a little bit about safety. But it's a constant challenge for us, but it's a very, very high priority for us. And we have vans everywhere now, so the students, they don't have to walk to the dorm 2 blocks away. They can just call the van, and the van will pick up. It's called St. Joe's Uber, okay? And they drive them to their door. College is good today, Patricia.
That's another cost to the parents.
Yes, it is another cost to the parents.
Why it's costing so much.
And that's what they say. You want safety? Well, here it is. Here it is. So it's all the auxiliary services. There's a lot of mental health issues with kids today as well, probably because, over the last 25 or 30 years, the state of mental health treatment has gotten more sophisticated. We have 4 professional clinical psychologists on staff. So there's a lot of support services that you have to provide.
Okay. So I got a child, he's graduating from college.
Okay.
I don't know where to send him. Why should I choose St. Joe's?
You're going to get a commercial now.
Okay.
For a number of reasons. One, we like to promote the quality of the education. We do a lot of individual work with our students. So the Jesuits are big believers in cure personalis, the one-on-one. So we don't have any classes of 150 or 200 students. I'm not saying you can't receive an education that way, but it's a different kind of education. So our average class size in the business school is 29. Upper division classes are smaller. Freshman classes are 35 or so. In the other areas of the university, they're even smaller. So you'll get a lot of contact with your faculty members and with your advisors. We're also going to push you, to be the best that you can be. We offer a different kind of education. In Philadelphia, there are 87 colleges within 25 miles of Philadelphia. It's the largest concentration of colleges and universities in the country. Everybody thinks it's Boston. It's not. Boston has more students because some of the colleges are bigger.
Right.
But, and of those 87, 75 have business. So they all have accounting, marketing, finance. We don't just do that. We offer a number of industry-related programs. We're known for food marketing. We're the largest food marketing program in the country. 85 companies come to St. Joe's every year to recruit students for food marketing. We do that now in insurance. We do it in pharmaceutical. There's 144 life science and pharmaceutical companies within 100 miles of Philadelphia.
Wow.
They can be 4 and 5 person, labs trying to find a cure for cancer.
Yes.
To Pfizer, Sanofi, AstraZeneca. So we do a lot of work in the pharmaceutical business space. We also do it in insurance. So we also do it in accounting. We partner with SAP. So the students get a value-added extra in their degree, and that's why 98% of them have jobs when they graduate.
Wonderful. If I wanted to come to St. Joe's,
call me. I know somebody. I can help you. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is there financial aid for underserved children?
Yes.
In Black and brown communities?
There's financial aid for everybody. And it's significant. It's significant. It's significant, yes.
We're going to come to a close, but, Dishing with Patricia, there's a second part that we also incorporate some food. And I know in academic and in life period, life is very stressful. So I'm always trying to incorporate food because food is medicine. But before I go to that, is there something that you want to tell my audience about St. Joe's or about yourself that I haven't asked or that we don't know, or that like you got a book coming out, or that you think that we should, if you're thinking about going to business school, you should read this book, or just tell us some tidbit. Oh, I know. Tell us about your annual fundraiser that's happening next month, and the host and the person that's receiving that award.
All right. Well,
tell me about that.
We do a Hall of Fame event every year where we honor an alum.
Yes.
And you're familiar with that. You know someone. You're close to someone who's in our Hall of Fame.
Yes.
But we are honoring Deneen Damon. Deneen just stepped down. She's still a partner at the law firm. She was the president of the largest law firm in Delaware, focusing on business law. So it's a huge firm, and she was the first African American to head up that office. And she's on our board of trustees. She's a wonderful person. Has been involved with our students, very much involved in our DEI initiatives. I knew Deneen. She serves on our board of visitors, but I didn't know her personally very well, and it was kind of interesting. So we went out to dinner 5 weeks ago, just to kind of have a conversation and get to know one another. Mm-hmm. Here, she's born and raised 5 blocks from me.
Wow.
From my old neighborhood in West Philadelphia. She was at St. Carthage Parish, and I was at St. Donata's Parish, and so we have very, very similar backgrounds. Except she went to Girls High, and then went on to St. Joe's, and then went on to law school. She was an accounting major.
Yes, I saw that.
And there's at my previous university, we had a law school, and the law school dean and I were pretty close, and he would say to me, Joe, the best thing you should teach your kids to do if they want to go to law school is have them be accountants or have them be in science. He said, but there's nothing worse than a lawyer that can't count. And he said, because then you have to hire an accountant, to help your client, and the bills go up. Deneen, her background in accounting, she said it was one of the major reasons for her success at the firm. So she's a great trustee, and she's very competent. So we're looking forward to this. It's going to be exciting.
So when is this event? Tell my audience.
We're having it at the Barns down on the Parkway this year. So it'll be a wonderful evening, and we're looking forward to honoring Deneen.
Great. Thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Give us a few moments, and we're going to be back. Welcome back to Dishing with Patricia. My guest is Dr. Joe DiAngelo, the Dean of Haub Business School. He agreed to stay and help dish with this salad that I'm going to make. I called him and he said, can you tell me what's going on? How are we going to do this? I said, you just sit down. I'm not going to ask you any difficult questions, and then you're going to cook. Cook! I said, yeah, we're going to cook. There's a cooking segment of my program. He said his wife, Fran, which is a dear woman, was laughing so hard that she was crying. So he walked in this morning, he says, cook, why are you having me cook? I don't know how to cook. I just know how to eat. So he's going to help me today, and then he can eat. So Joe.
Okay, all right, I'm going to do my best.
You're going to do your best?
I'm
okay.
Try not to make a mess.
So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make a vegan Caesar dressing. I believe in having all of these things in my salads. Salads for me are an independent meal. So I tend to incorporate seeds, nuts, and I want color. I want diversity in my food. You guys have heard me say that I want my food as diverse as I hope our society will be one day. So let's get started. But Joe, this is a raspberry lemonade. I just want to say thank you for coming.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
I hope it's good.
It is good.
At home, I tend to use these little quick things. Other than that, you can use a small food processor, or you can use a whisk. But if you do a whisk, you're going to be whisking, and it won't emulsify. It won't allow the oils to cream and things of that. So once I make the dressing, then you're going to help me.
See, you think I understand what you're saying. I don't have a clue. Yeah, but that's okay.
That's okay. Okay. So we're going to start with, first, this is some minced garlic. This is tahini. Tahini is sunflower seeds. All my recipes are on classyessentialnutrition.com. This is lemon. I'm going to sit this down. This is vegan Worcestershire sauce. And this is maple syrup. This is going to be a really good dressing. Trust me. I tell you guys all the time, make your own dressings. It brings out the flavor of your salad. You have no idea if you make your own salad dressings how different a salad will taste. This goes over here. And this here is a spicy mustard. I really like making my own dressings. I mean, just make them your own. In the summertime, you can put strawberries, raspberries. You can do a whole lot of different things to make a salad dressing your own. Excuse me, I just want to wipe my fingers. So this is nutritional yeast. Because remember, this is my Caesar dressing. This here, folks normally would use a hummus. I'm not using hummus. I'm using a vegan mayonnaise. This vegan mayonnaise happens to be Hellmann's. Hellmann's is not paying me for mentioning their product, but Hellmann's mayonnaise, if you're listening, this is your product I'm using in my salad dressing today. So Hellmann's. Typically you would use a hummus, but I like the consistency that the mayonnaise gives me when I'm doing this particular dressing. And a little bit of pepper. And if you find it's too thick, I have a little water right here that I'm going to add into it. So that's it. So there you go. Let me shake it up a little bit. Okay, so this should be nice and creamy. So I'm gonna now come over to Joe. Joe, we're gonna start. This is spring mix. So you got your tongs right there.
All right.
We're gonna dump that in there. This is broccolini. We're gonna dump some of that in there. This is arugula. It really wakes up a salad. So can you just move that around for me?
Sure.
And this is romaine lettuce. Then I have an avocado, but I'm gonna finish that off in the end. So this here, these are golden berries. It gives color. So I'm gonna just put those in there and just stir those around. These are pistachios. With your guests, make sure they don't have a nut allergy.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Right,
yeah,
exactly,
right.
Exactly. So here's some nuts. These are pumpkin seeds. The nutritional content is also on my website. Sunflower seeds. These are hemp seeds, high in omega-3s. Good. As a matter of fact, I put hemp seeds in my dog's snacks because the omega-3s, the fatty oils, it helps in his coat. And you guys have seen my dog. He sits there very quietly and doesn't talk, doesn't say anything. As long as he's sitting next to mommy, he's cool. That's good. So I'm going to put some blueberries in there. And these are some of my favorite little crispy, gluten-free crackers.
Okay.
If we don't have time, normally I would make my own croutons. But since I'm not making them, yes, I make my own croutons. I'm not making any. These are good. These are going to give the salad just a really good crunch. You're going to be surprised. I think you're going to like it. I'm going to slice this avocado. So for those of you that don't know how to keep an avocado, when you first get it, if it's green, put it in a brown bag, put it in a cabinet, let it stay there for a day or two. So, I'm going to slice that off. So this dressing, I think I should add a little water. I think it may be a little too thick. Let me taste, sorry.
Well, you know, we don't know. You're the only one tasting. You have to share. Yeah. Right.
I'm going to,
Yeah.
It's just a little thick. So I'm going to just put this in just a little bit. Because we got some cheese to put on there. Okay. Do you like your salad real wet?
No, I don't like it real wet.
I don't either. Okay. So we're going to, I'm going to just
I'll
pour
end up
some.
wearing it if it's real wet. Yeah.
I know. So do you mind if I pour this over this? Because I have my fruit. Tell me, it will not go to waste.
No.
I think that's enough. Okay. Let's see what you get. Joe, tell me while you're massaging the salad, did you cook with your mom?
No. Well,
an Italian mother, you probably.
My grandmother, when we were growing up, yes, on Sundays, she would make the homemade raviolis or the homemade gavadellis. So yes, we used to roll the gavadellis and we used to make the raviolis. Yeah, so I did that.
So do you help your wife in the kitchen
No.
other than just being away?
Yes. No, she doesn't want me in the kitchen. Yeah.
Okay. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to mix this up really good.
Okay.
And
So obviously I didn't do it right. Yeah, right.
No, you know, control people, right?
Yeah.
Control folks.
Oh,
Can you smell it?
I can smell it. This really looks good.
Thank you. So I'm going to top it with a little, this is vegan Parmesan cheese. And I'm going to slice up a couple.
Vegan Parmesan cheese. We didn't have that in our house, vegan Parmesan. We just had Parmesan.
Okay, well, this is vegan. Would you like a couple slices of avocado?
Sure. I want the whole experience.
See you in just 1 second. So I believe in presentation. So my hands are clean, even though this is Joe. Oh, I forgot my little cherry tomatoes. Those of you that know, when you're in the kitchen, it takes a village. It takes a village. Thank you. And my village asked me, did I have everything? And I told my village yes. And I was wrong. So these are little small cherry tomatoes. And look at the color. Look at this. Isn't this cute? I think these are so, yes. So get color in your salads as well. All right, Joe. Here you go. Let me give you a little fresh pepper.
This all for me?
This is all for you. You don't have to eat the whole thing, but I mean. All right. Bon appetit. Tell me what you think while he's partaking of that. I don't want him to talk without his mouth is full. And I was pointed out that I forgot the red onions too. But remember, the recipe is on classyessentialnutrition.com. Look at these cookies.
Oh my God, this is delicious.
You like?
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah. With your vegan cheese.
With my vegan cheese.
Right. So this is something that you could do at home.
I could.
So I'm going to share the recipe with Fran.
You do that. I may even try this just so I can say I learned something today.
Okay, well, everybody's going to see you.
I know.
That you did do
Don't
this,
remind
right?
me.
So
I know, yes.
So you can't deny it.
Yeah, I stood here and watched you, yeah.
So these are lemon almond cookies. Look at these. And I want you to taste this cookie when you're done. This morning, in honor of Joe, these are an Italian cookies.
There you go.
And I wanted to make sure that I made something for him. So, Joe, I don't want to catch you in the mouthful. Can you?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much for coming.
This is delicious.
Is it?
It really is, yeah.
So are you gonna? I'm gonna send the recipe home with you.
Yeah, I want the recipe.
You want the recipe?
Well, we're gonna watch the video.
Yes. Okay. You're gonna.
As a matter of fact, when we see it on YouTube, we'll do it. We'll create it in the kitchen while we're watching the YouTube.
God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So can I know Joe, so can I get a hug?
You absolutely can.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This is great.
Folks, don't forget, they're doing a capital campaign for the Haub Business School that will, it's next month, April what?
April 26th.
April 20th. So what's the website that they could go to?
sju.edu/Haub.
Haub, okay. If not, just call the business school
That's
and say,
it.
I want to help fund the capital campaign dinner. Until next time, if I'm forgetting something, I had a fabulous day. Thank you. Bye.